I'm going to start off today's video by reading to you a tweet from Monday, October 19th, 2020 at 5 p.m. This is from Jeff Bridges. As the dude would say, new shit has come to light. I've been diagnosed with lymphoma. Although it's a serious disease, I feel fortunate to have a great team of doctors and the prognosis is good. I'm starting treatment and will keep you posted on my recovery. As a huge fan of Jeff Bridges, I'm going to postpone my review of Blazing Saddles and review his 1998 movie, directed by the Coen brothers, The Big Lebowski.
Smokey, this is not Nam, this is bowling. There are rules.
Thank you so much for checking out the review. Before we get started, click on that red subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know whenever I post a new video. The Big Lebowski was released in 1998 to mediocre reception at the box office. Over time, it has become the perfect example of a cult classic and is widely considered to be one of the funniest films ever made. The movie has an all-star cast, pitch-perfect performances, and one of the best scripts ever written. There is an incredibly long list of quotable comedies. Dumb and Dumber, Ghostbusters, Caddyshack, Anchorman, The Princess Bride, Tommy Boy, Animal House. The Big Lebowski is a different kind of film. Instead of allowing the actors to improvise, Joel and Ethan Coen demand that the cast sticks to the script. There's actually only one line that's improvised during the entire course of this film.
Life does not stop and start at your convenience, you miserable piece of shit.
Every other line of dialogue or physical gag is in the script and performed as written. It's a testament to the power of that good writing that The Big Lebowski manages to be just as quotable, if not more so, than every single movie that I mentioned. So what is The Big Lebowski and what makes it so special? Actually, it's kind of hard to describe. If I simply explain the plot of the film, that is a little bit easier. A grown-up man-child stoner named Jeffrey Lebowski gets mistaken for another Jeffrey Lebowski, who's a millionaire businessman. Our Lebowski, who actually goes by the nickname The Dude, gets roped into an elaborate kidnapping plot involving nihilists.
Yeah, he believes in nothing.
He believes in nothing, Lebowski, nothing.
And tomorrow we come back and we cut off your Johnson.
The rich Lebowski's daughter, Maud,
Was that yoga?
It increases the chances of conception.
an adult film producer,
Hello, dude. Thanks for coming. I'm Jackie Treehorn.
the police chief of Malibu,
Is this your only ID?
Know my rights, man.
and the techno-pop band Autobahn.
Ugh, technopop.
So he's pretending to be the abductor.
The plot is silly and fun and allows for all manner of great jokes. But here's something that's always stuck with me about this particular film. So I watched it for the first time and didn't really laugh. The second time I watched it, completely different story. All the jokes landed exactly as they were intended, and I understood that I was watching a truly transcendent piece of fiction. The film's quirky structure and almost purposeful lack of a narrative seems to push the jokes to the forefront and makes everything that much funnier. Let's talk about what little story is there. The dude is an unemployed slacker in early 1990s Los Angeles. He spends his days on the bowling team with his buddies, Walter and Donnie, and due to the aforementioned case of mistaken identity, is recruited by the Big Lebowski to deliver ransom money to save his kidnapped trophy wife. That's basically the entire plot of the movie distilled down into a few sentences, and that basic structure goes off into some wild places and allows for a treasure trove of jokes. Much of the film's strength lies in the relationship between its three main characters. Jeff Bridges' performance as the dude is thoroughly entertaining, and he manages to make a goofy pothead so likable that it's impossible not to cheer for him. The film opens with the dude writing a check for a half-gallon of milk, a check that's very likely to bounce, and the narrator directly tells us that the dude is quite possibly the most lazy person on the entire planet. This character has become such a part of mainstream culture that the most financially successful film in history turned him into an obvious punchline.
Drifting left. One side there, Lebowski.
The very name Lebowski has become synonymous with laziness, and there's an entire festival dedicated to the love of the film. None of that would be possible without Bridges' performance here, and it's rather telling that he chose a quote from The Big Lebowski to announce his cancer diagnosis. 22 years after the movie's release, Jeff Bridges knows how much this character means to people, and it's obvious how much it means to him. The second most important character in the movie is the dude's best friend, Walter Sobchak. Walter is amazing, and John Goodman's performance as the Vietnam veteran turned security expert slash amateur bowler is a thing to behold. Walter is a loyal friend, and by all accounts, absolutely terrible when it comes to helping the dude rescue Mrs. Lebowski. He gives terrible advice, has zero social awareness, and is prone to random outbursts of rage. Goodman is the perfect sidekick for the dude, and Walter gets many of the very best lines in the film. The third wheel of the group is Donnie, played by Steve Buscemi. Written specifically to be quiet and soft-spoken, in direct opposition to Buscemi's character in Fargo, the Coen brothers have created the perfect punching bag for Walter. Many of Walter's unhinged rants are directed directly at Donnie, who takes all of the abuse in stride. So let me set aside these lead performances as I wrap this thing up. I can't possibly stress this next statement enough. All of the secondary characters in this movie are awesome. Their bullying nemesis, the Jesus, the Big Lebowski, and his assistant Brant, the Mortician, Wu, Maud, Bunny, Jackie Treehorn, Smokey, Sam Elliott's mustache. Every single character gets their glorious moment in the spotlight. It's an incredible testament to the talent of the Coen brothers that the same guys that created The Big Lebowski also made No Country for Old Men and Fargo. It's not easy to make a movie, it's even more difficult to master a genre, and it's nearly impossible to create multiple masterpieces in completely different genres, but they somehow managed to do it. If you've seen The Big Lebowski more than once, you know that this is one of those rare films that demands repeated viewings and somehow manages to be even funnier the more you watch it. It's quotable, it's hilarious, and it's easily one of the finest comedies ever made. And if you haven't seen The Big Lebowski, you're entering a world of pain. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, click on that red subscribe button. You can also like and share the video since that tells YouTube my channel is worth promoting. Sound off down in the comments, don't ever bring a Pomeranian bowling, and I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m.